When we get caught up in daily problems, we don't realize what time is doing. Sometimes we suddenly notice and say, wow, the 2014 World Cup was 10 years ago, and we can't believe 10 years have passed. Such thoughts cross many people's minds quickly, but they soon forget and go about their business. But here, we want to take a closer look at this issue and see why time passes so quickly. In today's world, if we consider the average lifespan of people across our countries, it's around 79 years. For example, if we live in Monaco, this number is over 90 years, and if we live in an African country, it's around 50 years. But let's focus on the global average, which is 79 years. So, we conclude that we have an average of 79 years on Earth. But, do we really have 79 years? Unfortunately, that's not the case at all. People have different responsibilities, duties, and goals, each requiring time. The thing that takes up most of our time is sleep. On average, we sleep 8 hours a day, which occupies 1/3 of our lives. So about 26 years out of 79 are gone. We have 53 years left. But there are still many duties and tasks that make even 53 years seem short. Each of you watching this video is either in school or has been to school. Most kids around the world spend 12 years in school, 8 hours a day. If we exclude summer and holidays, that's over 17,000 hours spent in school. Additionally, there are homework and studies at home, which add another 5,000 hours. Adding these hours together, we spend 3 full years of our lives in school and studies. So from the 53 years we had left, 3 more years are gone, leaving 50 years. If we go to university, we have to subtract another 2 years, leaving 48 years. This much of our time has passed, and we haven't done anything significant yet. After finishing school and university, we need to find a job. On average, people worldwide work 40 hours a week. Most people work between 30 to 50 years during their lifetime. If we average this duration, each person spends about 10 full years working. So we need to subtract 10 more years from the 48 remaining years, leaving 38 years. But we only counted working hours. People who commute to work often spend time in traffic. On average, most people worldwide spend about 90 minutes a day commuting. If we calculate this for the working years, that's about 17,000 hours spent in vehicles, which equals 2 years of our lives. So subtract 2 more years, leaving 36 years. After all this schooling, working, and commuting, we get hungry and need to eat. An average person spends about 70 minutes a day eating. So in our 79 years of life, we spend 32,000 hours eating, which equals 4 more years of our lives. This leaves us with 32 years. After you eat, you can't just leave the table. You have to clean up, wash the dishes, tidy up the kitchen, and put everything back in its place. Additionally, there are other tasks like doing laundry. These kinds of chores take at least an hour of our time every day. If we add it up over our lifetime, it takes about 3 years. So we are left with 29 years. Each person spends about 10 months of their life in the bathroom. All the activities we mentioned are somehow mandatory. We have to sleep, learn, study, work, eat, shower, and go to the bathroom. So far, these were mandatory activities, but we humans love wasting the time. You might not believe it, but today, on average, people spend about 150,000 hours of their lives on their phones, wasting time. Do you know how much of our life that takes? 13 years. Subtract 13 years and we are left with 16 years. These 13 years are just for mobile phones. Watching TV and playing computer games aren't included. 16 years are left and we haven't yet watched TV or played computer games. Surely you will want to spend some of these 16 years on such activities. Before you know it, we reach around 65 years old, meaning we retire and can have time for ourselves. Most people over 65 have some health issues like poor eyesight, back pain, or leg pain. So you have to spend a lot of money and time on medication and treatment. By the time you have some free time to enjoy life, you are no longer a 20-year-old. Sometimes you lack the energy, sometimes you are in pain and say, forget it, so you don't enjoy lecture activities as much. Of course, not everyone is the same. We are speaking in general terms. So, what does this mean? Why did we come to this world in the first place? Let's go back to our childhood and see if we can start differently. If you are a lucky child, you usually stay with your parents until you are 18 and see them every day. But in many Western countries, after the age of 18, when children move to another city for university or job, they usually don't return to their parents' home, only visiting for holidays or special occasions. According to statistics in the United States, 95% of the time children spend with their parents happens between the age of 1 to 18. Only 5% of their time is spent with their parents after 18, mostly for visits and holidays, meaning the connection between children and parents is almost zero. But this is not the case in other parts of the world, where children often stay with their parents until older ages. However, we aren't concerned with this. The goal of life is to be happy. Some people think they can achieve happiness through their actions, for example, choosing a stressful job to earn more money so they can do what they love and be happy, like buying their dream car. But this is a false sense of happiness. According to global statistics, many buyers of fancy cars do so just for show. When people look at them and their car, they feel happy, but this happiness is temporary. They worked hard, saved money, and bought this car to be happy, but this happiness is short-lived. It's not real happiness. We initially said that the main goal of humans is to be happy. Every life is different. Some have jobs that make them very happy. For those who love their work, life is much more enjoyable and happier than for those with high income but who dislike their job. That's why many people say don't force your children to become doctors or lawyers. Let them do what they love. If you want to feel your life more deeply, try to do something you love every day. we aren't saying do something difficult. We all need time for eating each day. Try to eat with people you love instead of eating alone. Those moments don't count as part of your life. For example, if you are in traffic, instead of getting angry and frustrated with other drivers, put on your favorite music or listen to an audiobook you like. That way, the dreadful moments sing. Traffic become more bearable and calming. Instead of spending hours on Instagram or YouTube watching useless and time-wasting content, watch a video that adds to your knowledge. For example, learn carpentry or how to cook a dish you love. Try to perfect whatever interests you. Don't say tomorrow, start right now. If you have a talent or know something, start a YouTube channel and teach people. Whatever we do or don't do, time passes and never stops, and we can never get it back. Once today is over, it's gone forever. Such a day might never come again. For example, if you lose money, you can make more money, but if you lose time, there is no way to get it back. Our lives are made up of choices. Choosing friends, choosing a field of study, choosing a spouse, choosing a car, a house, even clicking on this video you are watching was a choice that brought us here. It's good if these choices are what we truly want, not to impress others. Don't think about what others will think of your choices, like what they will think if they see it on Instagram. These are the biggest mistakes that waste our time. We should make choices that genuinely make us happy, because when you are happy, other people's opinions don't matter to you. Most people who are unhappy and depressed care too much about others' opinions instead of making themselves happy. If you make yourself happy and make choices that please you when you reach that 65 years old, you won't regret it. You won't say, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Why did time pass so quickly? We aren't saying to quit your job or drop out of school. We are just saying to choose paths that lead you in the right direction and don't make this short life bitter for you. Even though this lifespan is the longest things we have in this life, it's really very short. Get rid of all the negative things in your life. When all these negative things are gone, that's when you realize how much making choices you love can make your life more vibrant and bright. In this way, all those bad thoughts that disturb your mind will disappear and fade away.